died of starvation, and so Trave's revenge would never come to pass. Hajar didn't understand how lucky he'd been. He hadn't drowned in the underwater current. The endless rapids hadn't broken his head open. He hadn't drowned in the waterfall, nor broken his body going down it, nor had he been shot by the archers. How had he managed to escape from the city on his improvised artificial limbs? And yet, after only one glance at the whirlpool that had spat him out into this underwater grotto, it became clear that he would die of starvation here. And so, Hajar Duran's revenge would never come to pass either. The dragon looked at the bug's fierce gaze. He didn't flinch, didn't let go of his rage, even after realizing that it was all completely hopeless. "I've lived a long life, Hajar Duran. I've seen empires built. I've seen eternal cities collapse. I've fought with geniuses and defeated immortals. I've created techniques so complex that many adepts are still to this day racking their brains over them. And yet, Hajar Duran, I remain only a small spark in the world of martial arts." A small spark? Hajar hummed mentally and invoked one of the few functions that his neuronet was still capable of. Name, Traves. Level of cultivation, lack of data. Strength, lack of data. Dexterity, lack of data. Physique, lack of data. Energy points, lack of data. If a small spark looked like that, then what the hell had all the adepts he had previously met been? What was he, for that matter? A microbe? Mere dust? A recollection? I have lived 2 lives. If Duran had had the strength for it, he would have given the dragon a smug grin. And so, I'm cooler than you. All he had left now were stupid jokes and bravado. Well, to be honest, that was all he'd ever had in principle: jokes, bravado, and an indomitable will. "Hajar Duran, will you make a deal with me? One which, most likely, will lead to you dying in such agony that children, listening to stories about you, will pass out from fear." You would make a deal with me? Even idiots would laugh at you if you were to do so. The dragon laughed. Today was a good day for him to die, and to begin exacting his revenge. Finally. "Move under my claw, bug." Hajar didn't argue. If it had wanted to do so, this creature would have already split him in half, and so Duran, gritting his teeth, crawled over. The scabs and blisters, irritated by the stone floor, caused him unbearable suffering. But he still crawled. The steel claw was the size of a windmill and resembled a guillotine. Undaunted he crawled, toward his death, toward his revenge. The 10 yards became his own personal green mile. Traves lifted the claw with visible effort, not very high, just a little, for the dragon's size, but enough that the little bug could crawl under it. "Are you ready, Hajar Duran? Come on, you bastard. Do whatever you need to." And then the cave was flooded with the man's cries of anguish and the dragon's roars. Urgent message for the user. Unauthorized changes to the owner's body detected. One of the vital organs has been replaced. The old heart of Hajar, who had endured so much pain and despair, was sinking into a whirlpool. The dragon's heart was now beating in his own chest. It had been created by Traves, using a drop of his blood and all the willpower that he'd been able to find in himself. The dragon died, and the man was reborn. The age-old chains were crumbling, the ancient dungeon was collapsing, and the streams of water